Okay, in this video, I'm going to be reviewing polynomial long division. So in this first example, 3x cubed minus x squared minus 18x minus 5 is divided by 1x plus 2. Okay, now because this one is actually being divided by a simple 1x plus 2 factor, then we can actually use what's called synthetic division. To do that, the first thing you do is you set this x plus 2 equal to 0, and you solve that, which x would be negative 2. All right, so to set up then synthetic division, that looks like this. Okay, so you're dividing by, you're using this negative 2. Then you're just going to use these coefficients. And again, this is called synthetic division, and we can only use it when this is a 1x plus a number or minus a number. All right, so the coefficients are 3, negative 1, negative 18, and negative 5. And they do have to be written in order, and you have to account for all of the exponents. So 3, 2, 1, and the constant. If there was one missing, we'd have to add one in. But when using synthetic division, you always bring down that first coefficient. That's going to be in your answer. That's simply because a 1x goes into a 3x 3 times, okay? Now, once you bring down that first coefficient, then you multiply this negative 2 times this 3. And negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. So that would be negative 6 here. Now you need to combine these two. A negative 1 and a negative 6 is negative 7. Now again, you go back to multiplying. Negative 2 times negative 7, well, that's positive 14. So we're going to end up with positive 14 here. And then when you have a negative 18 and a plus 14, then you get negative 4. Now you go back to multiplying. Negative 2 times negative 4, which is positive 8. So over 8 here. And then when you combine negative 5 and positive 8, you get 3. Now, the 3 is going to be the remainder. So our final answer, this 3 is going to get 3x squared. We start with the squared. That's because an x to the 1 power divided into a 3x cubed, x1 goes on x cubed, x squared time. Then we just work our way down, and that's going to be minus 7x to the 1 power. And then the minus 4 is the constant. And then we are left, again, with a remainder of 3. Well, the way we would write the remainder is plus, and then we would just put 3 over what we were dividing by originally, which is x plus 2. This is what we were dividing by, x plus 2. So then that would be the solution to this division problem, or that would be the quotient. Okay, now let's look at one where we can't use synthetic division, all right? So with this division problem, because we're dividing by a 3x plus 5, we can't use synthetic. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up and show you how to divide. So 3x plus 5 divided into 12x cubed plus 8x squared minus 5x plus 25. And of course, you can always do long division this way. You don't really have to use synthetic, but we can't use it on this one. So what we do is we look at this first term here, 3x, and we ask ourselves, how many times does 3x go into 12x cubed? Well, 3 goes into 12 4 times. So this term is going to be 4. And then the x is going to be 4x squared. Now, I'm always going to put it over the second term because there's two terms here. I'm going to put it over the second term, 8x squared. And again, the reason it's squared is because here you have an x to the third divided by x to the 1, and we just subtract 3 minus 1, and we get 2. Okay, well, now we know this 4x squared. Well, what we have to do is multiply both of these times 4x squared. So just like long division. So, like any long division. So 4x squared times 3x is 12x cubed. And then 4x squared times 5, well, that's 20x squared. So I would put plus 20x squared. Well, then we need to subtract. both of these. Okay, so I put it in parentheses. So be careful. This positive 12x cubed became a minus 12x cubed, but now you see that the 12x cubed minus 12x cubed becomes 0. Those canceled each other out, which is what we needed. Well, over here now, it doesn't say 8 plus 20. It says 8x squared minus 20x squared. And 8 minus 20 is negative 12. So I'm going to write that as negative 12x squared. And then I'm going to bring down my minus 5x. Well, now I come back to here, and I'm dividing 3x into negative 12x squared. Well, again, 3 goes into 12 4 times, but since it's a negative, that's going to be negative 4. And it's going to be 4x to the 1 power, because with the exponents, this is a 2, this is a 1, x goes into x squared x times. Okay, now we multiply. Negative 4x times 3x is negative 12x squared. So negative 12x squared. And then negative 4x times 5 is negative 20x. And then again, we're going to subtract to see what we have left. So this minus a negative here becomes plus. So negative 12x squared plus 12x cancels. That's 0. And then negative 5 minus negative 20 makes that a plus. So negative 5 plus 20 is 15x. And then, of course, I'm going to bring down this 25. This is what I've been doing. I've been bringing them down, by the way. So I'm going to bring down that plus 25. Now I'm back here again. 3x goes into 15x 5 times. So I'm going to put plus 5. And then I'm multiplying 5 times 3x, which is 15x. And again, 5 times 5 is 25. So we put plus 25. You will see that these are the same. So when we subtract them, they're just going to cancel each other out. So yeah, we have 15 minus 15, which is 0, and 25 minus 25, which is 0. So there's no remainder. So that means we have our answer. 4x squared minus 4x plus 5 would be the solution. So 4x squared minus 4x plus 5. All right, and that is a review of synthetic division and long division.